812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
Skyline Suites Assisted Living offers high-value care with affordable rates and no hidden fees. You get to bring all your belongings with you, and we make the transition easy. Skyline Suites in Salem is unlike anything else and is truly your home away from home. From home-cooked meals, assistance with bathing, dressing, and medication management, Skyline Suites takes monthly trips, provides transportation, does your grocery shopping, and has a spa day on Fridays. To schedule your tour today, call me, Ryan, at 812-320-3761.
Whenever the forecast is nice, you're probably thinking about enjoying the great outdoors. Whether that means doing some four-wheeling or hitting the road in an RV, First Harrison Bank can help make your dreams a reality with a loan designed to meet your needs. Talk with one of our associates and camper financing. If you're looking for a great auto loan, we can help with that too. To get started, just visit us.
I've already got my ticket, Carrie, which we both know as Indiana High School Athletic Association Assistant Commissioners is much more than a ticket.
It's so much more. When you go to a high school sporting event, you're making a contribution to your community.
That's right. The proceeds from ticket sales go right back to your school's athletic department to help pay for things like facility maintenance and officiating crews.
And just by being there, you're encouraging the student athletes in your community to achieve their goals.
They need that encouragement. They need high school sports in their lives.
They do, because they teach important life lessons like how to be part of a team.
And it's the team that provides a sense of community.
Which is why it's so important for the whole community to come together to support their high school student athletes.
So join us and buy a ticket to the game.
You'll be supporting your entire community.
This is your team. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Wednesday, clouds and sunshine and a high near 45. Winds southeast skies, low near 30. Winds light and variable. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Jackson County REMC Fiber.
Things change. Insurance should too. Jason can help to see if you're covered for life's constant changes. Call Jason Petmeyer, your Washington County agent, at 812-883-2995 or visit infarmbureau.com.
At Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
See Celebrity Home Loans in Salem, where everyone gets treated like a star. Come experience the star treatment with us. You'll never go back to the ordinary home loan experience again. Stop in today and see Dennis Baxter, branch manager of the Salem office, to start working on a new home loan or refinancing today. They've served nearly 50,000 families with over $15 billion in loans. Stop in and see Dennis and his staff. They're ready to work with you today. As a star, you expect the best, and that's all Celebrity Home Loans has to offer. Nothing off the rack. We're talking fine living, designer fashion home loans around here. Come by today and see Dennis or Autumn at 18 Public Square, Suite A, or call for an appointment. 812-883-0670. Remember, at Celebrity Home Loans, you're the star.
Why the hospitals are struggling to keep up. This is Network Indiana News. I'm Stan Lear. Indiana hospitals have 181 open beds in intensive care units, the second fewest ever, and that's after staffing an extra 20. The number of COVID patients in the ICU is actually one fewer than Wednesday, but an increase in non-COVID patients has erased the progress, and another 15,091 Hoosiers have just tested positive, and another 125 have died of COVID. The House committee has approved a bill setting guidelines for how schools discuss racism. Eric Berman reports.
Republicans say they're trying to draw a line between teaching about historical injustices and teachers telling today's students they are to blame. Education groups argue the bill's provisions are wide open to interpretation. Eric Berman, Network Indiana.
Amazon is leasing a new warehouse in Franklin for a merchandise sorting operation sometime this year, creating hundreds of new jobs. You're listening to Network.
This is season 49 of Coach's Corner, and we're entering into the winter sports season, and we'll be highlighting basketball and wrestling. First started in 1972. We're proud to continue Coach's Corner on WSLM for our listeners to get to know the coaches, players, and staff of each local high school and get the X's and O's each from Eastern, Salem, and West Washington. Our host, Nate Pierce, will be talking with our coaches for tonight's program. Join us on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. for the Red Hot Stove League for the latest from the Cincinnati Reds, and stay around for Coach's Corner. You'll hear from IU and Purdue basketball coaches during the week here on WSLM as well. You're listening to us on WSLM 97.9 FM and WSLM 1220 AM, along with live streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Be sure and follow us all season for a front row seat and a closer look at high school sports.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Coach's Corner. This is the 49th season, and this is our first season of doing winter sports. I'm your host, Nate Pierce. In the studio with me tonight, I've got Jeffrey Johnson. He is a pastor out at Christian Heritage Chapel Church. He's gonna do our daily inspiration tonight. Say hello for us there, Jeff.
Howdy, everybody.
Our regular co-host, Chris the Squatch Hunt, is over at the high school, and we're gonna go remote to him here in a little while. There's a wrestling club meet going on tonight, so we're gonna get a little bit of talk. We're gonna get a little bit of action live over there. So we apologize for we've been on a hiatus for about 3 weeks. We tried to get through the holidays there and had some things going on, and then last week I ended up coming down with the dreaded COVID and didn't want to be in the studio and spreading that love around. So it wasn't so bad, folks. I did okay. Second time I've had it, recovered real well. I didn't even run a fever this time, but it is what it is. So got that out of the way, and I'm waiting on my merit badge to come in for that. So tonight's action is it's mainly going to be wrestling. I talked to Coach Andy McCoskey. He declined to be on the show tonight because he was going to be busy with the youth, and I understand that. So we're going to do the next best thing and put a guy on the scene. Tomorrow night will be our first, not our first, but what we call our county mayhem meet. So all three of the county schools will meet at Salem tomorrow night and see if we can't crown us a county champion. We trade off with that every year. One year West Washington will have it. The next year Eastern will have it, and then this year we actually get to host it. So a lot of good wrestling going to happen over there tomorrow night. And school went down to Silver Creek, and we're pretty dominant down there. So we're looking for some healthy competition there tomorrow night and tonight. Our little guys, we've got a kid as young as 4 years old.
Oh wow!
That's wrestling, and he got, I think last tournament he won 2 of 3 and ended up finishing second place. So he happens to call me Uncle Nate. So
awesome!
Pretty proud of little Jody. Our youth program has actually been, in my opinion, a precursor to why our middle school and our varsity program are doing so well, because we've been feeding those kids. Let's see. I guess that program's been running 10 years now, our youth program, because
awesome.
Nate was in 3rd grade whenever we first started the Salem Lions Wrestling Club. So he was in that initial season, and he got his butt beat all season and didn't want to wrestle ever again. And then in 7th grade, he came up to me and he's like, "Dad, I want to go, gonna try wrestling in middle school." And I was like, "You're gonna what?" So I was surprised and happy at the same time. And then of course, I got the opportunity to help coach at the varsity level, assistant coach up there for a couple of years, and I really had a good time with that. We're real big in this community on youth sports and making sure that everybody gets to play. And we were talking. I got a message tonight about somebody that was in need of some baseball cleats and baseball mitts for their kids. And I don't know if everybody knows it, but around the community, a lot of people knew that I had a program at one time called Cleats for Kids, and we would collect used, gently used cleats. Every time we were in the Goodwill, we'd buy every pair of cleats they had, or baseball glove, or collect all that stuff down there. And if people needed cleats or any kind of equipment, they would come down there and they could shop free of charge. Never charge anybody anything. I put more money out into that program than, but it's something that we always pride ourselves on making sure that any kid that wants to play gets to play. But and I got, like I said, I got a message tonight. Some gloves, and my wife said, "Well, do we want to deal with it again?" And that's not a question, because that's something that I would always want to do. If anybody out there has any used cleats that they'd like to donate to the program, just get a hold of me, Nathan Pierce on Facebook, or you can even call here to the show tonight if you want to. It's 883-3401. So if you want to call in, and if you've got, I'm sure it gets to the right people.
Or you can reach out to us at Christian Heritage Chapel as well. We got a Facebook page, and I think my phone number is linked to it. So give us a call, and we're pretty centrally located in town, so pretty easy to help out with that sort of thing. Absolutely.
And I'm sure you could get in contact with the radio station or with Rebecca White on Facebook, and they put you in touch with the right people. But it's getting to that time of year where baseball's getting ready to start up, and don't know if we're going to do a show into that. It'd be something we look at. It's just not. I've never been a baseball guy, like I'm not a basketball guy. But I'm trying to spread the love to everybody. Just kind of
right.
See where our schedules are, and springtime gets real busy for me. But we might go into marching band season. Do they have cleats in marching band?
I'm sure somebody has used them somewhere.
Listen, we got a state champion band, so
right.
That's something that we could, definitely look into.
Go live from band camp.
Go live from band camp, or band practice over there at least while I'm watching the youth. And that's the thing. I don't know what I'm going to do next season, but I'm probably going to take a hiatus from youth football next season. But I may be involved in some way. I don't know that I'm going to coach next year. There have been some, questions asked of me, and I'll just have to see where I'm at whenever spring comes, or whenever fall comes next year. Well, really, we start football in February, coaches clinics and things like that. So
yeah, it gets going pretty early.
Yeah, so it's but that's good, because you keep everybody involved, and there are some kids that just love being active, and some of them are just less fortunate and are not able to get into those programs. Don't hardly ever charge for anything. Is the summer camp, and a lot of times I'll take up donations and sponsor many kids. Like I think one year we sponsored 14 kids or something like that for the summer camp, and I think the summer camp at the time was so. It might not be that much. I couldn't quote you on that. Either way, we sponsored so many of those kids, and I had people as far away as Washington State, Whidbey Island, send money.
Oh, that's fantastic.
To sponsor kids. So it was something that I put out through my motorcycle shop page. So a lot of those guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen were helping out. It's always a lot of fun, and a lot of, it's heartwarming to see people reach out like that and help out. It keeps these kids. It teaches those kids that people are not as selfish as what the world's seeing. There's always somebody there that's trying to give you a hand.
Yeah. There's always somebody willing to give somewhere along the way. They're there. Sometimes we got to look for them, but they're there.
You got to look for them, and you got to be able to trust. You got to be able to trust them. And then what you do with that from there, it's like I always tell my son, Bub as well as I do. He's got a huge heart, and he's a smart kid. And I tell him, I was like, you're not going to play in the NFL. You may not be an NCAA wrestler, but at some point in your life, you're going to be one heck of a coach. Because he's got the heart, and he's also already helped coach. Whenever he was in, I think he coached his first youth league team when he was in 8th grade.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He helped Jeff Medlock and Danny Bowling and Josh Mull with the Cowboys that year, and he would always come down and help me with practices and stuff. And like I said, he's not the biggest kid out there, and he's not the most physical, but he's got one of the most perfect 3-point stances you'll ever see on him.
Yeah.
So I would always use him as a shining example of like, look, do that. I tell my youth kids, do that. That's what I need from you. And he would love getting out there and coaching those kids. So that's bringing those. Peyton Farmer came and helped out, and that kid has got heart. He is one of the most respectful kids that I've ever dealt with. And whenever I would tell the kids, look, that was one of our best defensive players on the high school team. Whatever he tells you, you listen. And he pulled me aside after practice. He's like, Coach, I heard what you said over there. He's like, I really appreciate that. And I was like, I meant every word of it. So having those youth kids come back, Grayson Hunt comes back to help coach. One of these days, those guys are going to be the head coach on the sidelines over there at Salem. Look at Blair. Blair came. He was on that sectional team.
Yeah.
The last sectional team, and he came back, and Blair bleeds football, and he bleeds Salem football. So you can always see where his heart's at. And Blair Thompson is one emotional guy whenever it comes to his team.
Yeah.
There were nights after games that we would look out and he's still on the field by himself, whether it was a win or a loss, he was out there pondering what happened, what's next, and you could see in his face that he coaches every game like it's his last game, so.
They just got an off-season honor. He was on Tuesday morning. Talking about that, they were one of 11 schools in Indiana to get
it was good something, wasn't it?
It was like a community service type
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
They got honored for their community service.
And that's the thing. This school's always done a lot of community service. There was a semi that wrecked one time, and there was it was hauling bricks. So the football team went down there and helped move the bricks. Yeah. I don't know. Them boys might have ate all those bananas.
They were green.
Yeah, they still might have come up a few short.
Yeah.
It was the IFCA Good Works Team of the Year.
Yeah, the Good Works team.
And I'm not sure. I'd say I don't know if IFCA is probably international.
We'll make something up.
And also, he's working with Coach George.
Yeah. Yep. Zach George.
So
Yeah, they're getting a brand new weight room put in. All new equipment.
he's put player in there and work him over.
There you go. Yeah, he will. Yeah, I heard they're getting new treadmills, so we'll have to see what kind of commitment coach he's got there.
Trouble with the treadmill is you're looking at the wall. If you could.
Well, I don't know those Peloton ones.
If you could look like you're walking through the Grand Canyon or something.
Yeah, that might be cool.
10 or 15
miles on that.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, put a monitor in front of it with something interesting to look at. You know,
Well, that's like whenever I used to work out at Anytime Fitness. Yes, I work out sometimes. But
I started recently myself.
But the at Anytime Fitness they had TVs on them, you know, so you could watch TV or something. I didn't get much done watching Archie Bunker as I was on it.
Today, well, a little bit of corny trivia, but today was the anniversary of that show.
Oh yeah.
Came on back
I had to mention All in the Family.
in 1971.
71, so I was thinking 72, but 71.
I was still 10 years from being here.
I was a year out, so.
I gotta say it. Today is January 12th, and my wife's birthday. So here it is on the big radio station. Happy birthday! We're gonna take her out Saturday night after the wrestling meet. That's the dedication we got. You know, I'm gonna go sit in a wrestling, you know, in a sweaty gym with 300 stinky boys, and then we're gonna go out to dinner, baby.
Then we're gonna celebrate the wife's birthday. Gotcha.
But you know, like I said, she's been under the weather with COVID too, so it's all the quarantine days are finally up, and we can finally do this.
Yeah, give her a little more time to feel better, so
Yeah.
it'll be all right.
We're supposed to have some live action going here. I'm gonna have to give Chris a.
He's got busy or something.
Yeah, he's gotten something. I'm gonna call him and remind him right quick that he needs to call in.
But we're still waiting to hear from
Hey,
you.
are you gonna call the radio station? All right.
That's the voice of the man who's forgotten.
Yeah, that's. I'm calling right now.
Doing it right now. Right now.
Yeah, right. And congratulations on her. She officially put in her bid for prosecutor.
Funny, I guess she filed with the Secretary of State, but they.
Really? Yeah. WSLM, this is Nate.
Hey, it's me.
It's the Squatch.
Hey,
Got a big crowd over there tonight?
you know what? There's a huge crowd. We got, Washington and Salem both here.
Hey,
They,
stay on the phone. Stay with the phone.
Okay, all right. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, good. Oh, yeah. So, Salem, West Washington's here. I mean, there's a huge crowd of kids. I mean, we've probably got, I bet there's probably 60 kids on this mat, just having a ball, wrestling each other, going at it, and, parents in the stands. I mean, this is awesome. This is exactly what wrestling should be about, man.
So, the clubs tonight, is it just Eastern, West Washington and Salem, or do we have anybody else up there?
No, it's just West Washington and Salem, Eastern. Apparently they weren't ready. Their club wasn't ready yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, they've had a little dip in numbers down there, so.
Yeah, they have. I think that the weird thing is, it's like West Washington's numbers have, just completely blew up.
Yeah, Hank said they had like 43 or 46 kids.
Oh yeah, and they're all. I'm telling you, they're great looking wrestlers. I mean, he's done a great job with them. I mean, heck, our kids out here, they're wrestling hard. I mean, we've lost more than we won, but you know what? That's part of it, and that's. I think with a lot of these kids, they need to learn how to lose as much as they need to win.
Yeah, and we were just talking about that. With wrestling, that you're the dude. It's all up to you. If if you're having a bad night, it's going to affect you. So you're the only one that can push through that, and nobody to blame but you if you're not always there.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that's what I think what's so great about this sport is, we're a team, but you know what? You're out there wrestling for yourself. I mean,
right.
You're trying to get points for the team and everything else, but you're one-on-one, mono, womano, whatever it is.
Mano y mano is Spanish for hand-to-hand. So. I seen it on a TV show one time. Manos arribas.
They got barely passed English. So. amazing.
Hey, I just turned your volume up, and that is the first time ever anybody has ever had to turn the volume up on you.
Are you kidding me? I figured my phone would be like really loud.
No, that's just you. That's just you.
You know, and I'm speaking pretty loud, so I don't know what the deal is there. But anyway, kids are having a great time, and you know, the parents over here screaming and yelling, and even the parents you don't think. If you're a parent of a kid,
Matt moms are vicious.
I have a girl that is in the back of the room that says 2 words for a year, and they get on this wrestling mat and they're going,
Well, it wasn't Tara Hunt, was it?
No. She has not said break your arm this year. But yeah, I mean, you know, all the high school kids are here, the middle school kids are here. You know, we're just trying to, you know, it's definitely a sport that's coming around, and you know, it's getting bigger. It really is getting bigger.
Well, you know, that was something I was going to say. Word is definitely getting out about wrestling because, whoa, it must have been a good one.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You know, last night Jen said somebody was asking about why didn't anybody ever talk about wrestling and this and that. You know, we want to hear some things about wrestling, and you know, that she put out there. Look, you know, catch Nate and Chris and on the radio on WSLM 97.9 on Wednesdays, and they're always talking wrestling. You know,
absolutely.
That's our thing.
Last night we had we were, you know, the middle school team went down to Silver Creek, and we were at Silver Creek in Parkview.
Yeah.
And I mean, and believe it or not, we actually won both matches.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it. We've got some scrappers.
Oh, we do, and you know, Waylon did a great job winning a lot last night.
I tell you what, Waylon.
You know, I gotta
wait till Waylon's a junior.
Oh yeah.
That
you know,
kid's gonna
not
be
to plug my son had the move of the night. I mean, you know, he actually did a hip toss on a kid.
I seen that.
Freestyle, or if it was Greco, it would have been 5 points.
Yeah, it would have been a 5-point throw.
He was in the air, and you know, did a great job. You know, we had our heavyweights did a good job. You know, I mean, you know, for being first year wrestlers.
Yeah, because both our heavies are first year wrestlers, right?
Oh yeah. You know, we have Aiden Taylor.
Yep.
You know, first year wrestler. We've got you know, Austin Reynolds. He's first year wrestler, and you know what? They're still learning. I mean, you know, Austin got on the mat last night, and first thing he did was forgot everything he's been taught.
They all do. One of those where they walked out there with their toolbox, right, and then just threw the toolbox to the side and went at it.
Yeah, and I even went over there, and I'm like, okay, look, you know, you're a heavyweight, come over this food. You know, I'm like, stuff his head down, reach your arm underneath, you know, get that underhook, and then you can control wherever you want to.
Well,
it's out there, completely forgets everything.
Well, if you don't, if you recall, Grayson had one of those moments where, actually, he had one of those seasons where he was wrestling for a club, but at the cadet level, and like his first match, he just went out there and speared kids. That's what he did.
That's exactly what, and it worked for him.
Oh, it did. It did.
You know, now it's a little bit different, but
I tell you what, for as big a kid as Grayson is, he has got some finesse. You know, that boy knows how to move around on the mat.
He does. You know, we dealt with, you know, not injuries, but we dealt with sickness. You know, like a few weeks ago, he had like some stomach bug that was like some kind of a virus. It wasn't like transmittable or nothing, but he didn't tell us about it. He was like, you know, he goes, I'm fine. He goes, I didn't eat for like a week, and I was like, well, you can't go wrestle if you haven't eaten in a week. And sure enough, you know, you can see it whenever he wrestles. But now he's like full force. He's ready to go, and you know, we got a few kids out right now, but you know what? What's funny is last night at the match we had at Silver Creek, you know, we won that, and we were down 9 kids.
Wow.
We went in there, we won that. We were down 9 kids.
So you forfeited 9 spots, or you just had 9 kids out of it?
Yeah.
From the team.
Right.
So you had somebody to fill most of the spots, the weight class, so you didn't give it up for a forfeit?
Well, we gave up, I think we still gave up maybe 3 forfeits for the Silver Creek, because they had a...
Well, I mean, and that's still amazing that, you know, because basically you're having your JV kids step up, and you're still whooping butt out there. I mean, that's
right.
That just goes to show what our depth chart looks like.
You know, and you know they had a 65 last night. I'm going, you know what? We're never going to have 65 coming from Wales. Unless you have like Lane Bauer step up, you know, he's gonna be the 65.
I think he can handle it though.
I think he can. and that's the only thing that's really cool about, you know, once these little kids out here, you know, you've got, you know, the Bauer boys, you've got, you know, Uriah Howe.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Howe kid, whenever he gets up there to the middle school, man, he's gonna be a killer.
Absolutely.
That kid's got state champ potential.
Oh yeah, awesome. And you got Theo, and Theo was, you know, Andy's boy. You know, he's a monster. You know, he's going to be really good. Yeah, we just got to get him under control of it. He had kind of a freak out moment tonight, but you know what? That happens.
That's what, you know. If they don't throw the toolbox to the side, they throw the toolbox at their opponent, and then they're just burned.
That's pretty much where it happened. And, you know, he pretty much. So kind of like that. So.
Well, I guess we'll never know because you cut out.
Dude. So, am I still cut now?
A little bit.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I don't know why I'm cut out. It might be the school. I don't know. But, you know, Tank's got some kids over here that, you know, that come from West Washington. They're really good. I mean, you know, if you're over in the Campbellsburg area and you want to, you know, get your kid involved in a sport that is something that, you know, teaches discipline and you know, especially gives a lot of kids a lot of, you know, cardio and strength, you know, you definitely need to look at wrestling over West Washington if you're over there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can't, it's kind of funny because I wanted to have Andy on the show tonight, but he was busy with the club over there. I got the opportunity to help.
He's running around like a chicken with his head
so I got the opportunity to help out with the Jeff Classic. You know, he had asked us to come down there and help out. I got to coach a couple of matches while we were there, and I got to coach Dakota, and I looked over and Tank was sitting in the chair, so I give him, you know, my prettiest smile and pointed at him. You know, it was like, good to be back in the chair, you know, against you there. I haven't got to talk to him since, but you know, I had a blast getting to coach those couple matches that I did. You know, got the old juices flowing again, so it was a lot of fun. But hey, Squatch, I have not taken a commercial break yet tonight, so I need to do so. And Matt Myers is going to try to call in here. So,
like I said,
what's that?
I'll be on the show next week, so you know we'll be ready to go next week.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, buddy.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to try to get Coach Matt Myers on the phone here.
Are you shopping for a new home or looking to refinance at today's interest rates? FirstHarrisonMortgage.com should be the next stop in your rate. Might just be your last. VA, FHA, USDA, and conventional mortgages. You can even get pre-qualified now to know how much equal housing lender.
Caring people make the...
Yo, listen up. Papa John's is rolling out their New York-style pizza. The oversized pizza has 8 big foldable slices with just the right balance of crust and toppings. Order one today online, your Papa John's app, or call the Salem location at 812-883-3369. Each New York pizza is $13 for a one-topping pie and is available for purchase until March 13th. The New York-style pizza is a classic that reigns supreme, so we're excited to offer consumers this foldable crust favorite made with our fresh, never-frozen dough. Stop in and see our new store manager, Shelby Lehman, today about setting up a fundraiser for your nonprofit event. Also, they're still hiring drivers and inside help. Apply online at harry.com, HARRI.com. Remember, hot, fresh pizza is just a phone call away, 812-883-3369.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ASCSSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
The Skyline Suites Assisted Living offers high-value care with affordable rates and no hidden fees. You get to bring all your belongings with you, and we make the transition easy. Skyline Suites in Salem is unlike anything else and is truly your home away from home. From home-cooked meals, assistance with bathing, dressing, and medication management, Skyline Suites takes monthly trips, provides transportation, does your grocery shopping, and has a spa day on Fridays. To schedule your tour today, call me, Ryan, at 812-320-3761.
Whenever the forecast is nice, you're probably thinking about great outdoors. Whether that means doing some four-wheeling or hitting the road in an RV, First Harrison Bank can help make your dreams a reality with a loan designed to meet your needs. Talk with one of our associates about our options for RV, boat, and camper finance started. Just visit us at firstharrison.com.
Well, no, as Indiana High School Athletic.
When you go to a high school sporting event, you're making a contribution to your community.
That's right. The proceeds from ticket sales go right back to your school's athletic department to help pay for things like facility maintenance and officiating crews.
And just by being there,
they need that encouragement. They need high school sports in their lives.
They really do, because they teach important life lessons like how to be part of a team.
And it's the team that provides a sense of community.
Which is why it's so important for the whole community to come together to support their high school student athletes.
So join us and buy a ticket to the game.
You'll be supporting your entire community.
This is your team. This is your community. This
Wednesday, clouds and sunshine and a high near 45. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies. Low near 30. Winds light and variable. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Jackson County REMC Fiber.
Things change. Insurance should too. Jason can help to see if you're covered for life's constant changes. Call Jason Petmeyer, your Washington County agent, at 812-883-2995 or visit infarmbureau.com.
At Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. The goal of Moving Forward rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. And what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about Meadowview, visit ASCSeniorCare.com or call 812-883-4681.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and I have finally got Coach Matt Myers on the phone. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. How are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I know it's been, a month of Sundays or something since we've gotten you on the show. I promised you the last 2 weeks to do the show, and we decided not to do one over the holidays, and then I ended up with COVID last week, so I felt bad for pushing you, out a couple weeks, but glad to finally have you on here. So how's your season going?
It's going really well. You kind of stop and look at it and think it's going by pretty quick, but it seems like these last couple weeks, with all the games that we have to wrap up with, it starts to feel like a little bit of a grind, but it's been going well. We've played some pretty good ball, and hopefully we can finish it out. It seems like, as you mentioned with the show last week or a couple weeks ago, with the whole spike with the COVID-19, it looks like it's becoming an issue with some games and cancellations here and there, but overall things have been great.
And just to clarify for the audience, because we've been talking wrestling all night, this is Coach Matt Myers. He's the boys basketball coach out of West Washington. The COVID thing do you feel like it's a big yawn anymore? Everybody's just kind of like let's just do this and let's just play? Or do you feel like it's still, people are still pushing that urgency on
it? The girls coach at West Washington, you said boys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, you're fine. Yeah, well, with the coming in waves like it has, we hadn't had that spike since back late August, early September. So when it comes back around, you're kind of thinking, man, here we go again. But I mean, it's serious stuff, obviously, but
it seems like they've just loosened up a lot on it.
Yeah, they have. We just played down in Clark County the other night, and they had gone red, and they had put back forth the mask mandate.
Yeah.
So people that came to spectate and watch the game, they had to wear a mask. Players didn't have to, or the bench, but the spectators did.
Right.
And
now, and we're kind of fortunate in that because I've got a friend that has a daughter wrestling in Maine, and they have to wear a mask on the mat while they're wrestling. Just
think about seen that with.
Think about how restrictive that must be.
Yeah, that's gonna be terrible.
Yeah, I've seen that in some states with basketball.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I can't hardly just have mine on standing around, let alone
exerting yourself.
Things like that.
And basketball, it's such a
like that. It seems like they're trying to narrow down the close contact. And if you are positive, to get people back, I think it's like 5 days now.
5 days now, and after a negative, if you get a second negative test, then you can come back. It's like they change their mind every other 3 days. So.
Yeah, and it's just with us, and it does change some things with it only being 5 days. But as you start winding down here and get closer to the tournament, we're just stressing to the girls and the team that just be cautious what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Just be cautious because you would hate for them to. You'd hate for someone to end up positive.
Yeah, I can't wait till the day that we have our first show that we don't mention COVID. I'm just that over it. But it's out there and we've got to talk about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is twice now. I've thought it's been done and over with, and here it comes back.
Yeah.
And we can do about it. We can't control the negatives. We just try to do what we can, what we control. So
right. So how do your girls look this season? Are you? I know you said you had a few kids that were kind of stepping up and stepping into big roles last time we talked. Are they still progressing?
Yeah, you're right. It has continued and it has progressed, and there's been a couple other girls that have really matured throughout the season. Younger girls, and they've really exceeded some expectations. So, adding that to the girls we talked about before, it
Well, we are having terrible. I really do hate talking about this pandemic thing that's going on. I really hate that dominates most of our conversation. Especially with with the close contact sports that we're doing right now with wrestling in the winter and football in the summer and fall. It's something that it's the elephant in the room, and you can't ignore it.
Yeah, exactly. And the kids, God love them. They just power through it, and they just go and do their thing. And
Coach Matt, if you're listening, maybe try to give me a call back. We were getting some pretty bad reception there.
I will tell you that I was trying to pull up the schedule, and I don't know if it was the external website or our wonderful internet service, but they're 12-4.
They're 12-4.
Girls, and they let's see, they've won their last six. Won 6 in a row. They beat Orleans 39-23 before Christmas, and they played at Ingerville and beat them 32-22. They squeaked, well, I should say squeaked by. They beat Springs Valley 41-40. Their December 28th game was postponed in Shoals. They played at Hamilton, beat them 56-15. That's a pretty good one. And
Yeah.
They played the other night at Wittenberg. They did a double. 40, and last night they won 50-30 over Rock Creek.
Very good. WSLM.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we got you back. We were just going over some of your record there on the radio. You guys are doing really good this season.
Yeah, like games where we felt like we had the advantage. The girls have done a really nice job showing up and playing to their potential. And, you know, going into the second season with the girls, that's something we really talked about was good teams, that type of culture in your program when you go play some of those lesser opponents to you. They don't show up and make it a game. You show up and you play and you do what you do and you just do it well. And the girls have done that. And then the other games I mentioned that we're kind of, you know, looking at them before we play, it's kind of 50-50 games. If we don't play well, we are going to get beat. There's not really a lot of room for error.
Right.
And the girls went out and played well and executed in those two, and we were fortunate to get wins on those as well. So, yeah, it's been good so far. But,
we were just what is the record? 12-4 on the season. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Like I've always said, I'm not a huge, I've never been a big basketball guy, so I don't know a whole lot about it. But 12-4 sounds like a pretty good winning record to me.
Well, yeah, and when you look, I mean, we're getting a little more maturity now, a little more experience. We're still pretty young, but those girls last year, at this point of the season, had won 4 games, and then we won our last 2 regular season games, and we won 2 games in the sectional, which put us in the championships. We rattled off 4 more. We finished with 8 wins. So it's nice to see the wins increase with pretty much the same girls. We lost 1 senior.
Yep.
But last year, with the youth that we had and then the lack of experience, there were just a handful, 5-6 games that we had, and they were back and forth,
right.
And we just couldn't finish them out. And it just got to where you kind of look around like, well, here we go again. And that's changed this year. We've been in that spot a few times, and I think our experience has helped, and girls have been able to finish the games out, hit free throws, make shots, get stops, whatever it may be. But those have turned into wins this season.
Right. Now, that's what I was going to say. It sounds like there's been a lot of maturity on a lot of growing up on the team.
Yeah, there has been. Our 2 seniors, they really had no choice.
Right. It's here. You guys have got the ball here. Time to do something with it.
And the thing with our 2 seniors, they're great girls, but they're involved in everything. It's not like they're diehard basketball. They're not diehard softball, not diehard volleyball. They work, and they're great students.
Some of those well-rounded athletes like that, those are your best assets.
Yeah, you're right. And with them not being just fully devoted to basketball, you're kind of thinking, well, hopefully they can come along enough and have that senior leadership and do things for us. But they've really stepped up beyond that. Just their overall toughness and knowledge and leadership. They've done a great job. And we'll end up being, at the end of the season, kind of like I was last year, thinking, well, we're just losing a couple, but it's going to be a couple that's going to be hard to replace.
Yeah.
So that's a good problem to have for right now.
Yeah. The one thing about it, though, is you're saying, telling those kids that they're doing this and they're doing that. Sounds like that you're doing a pretty good job out there, yourself. So, make sure you leave room for the kudos to you, because you're out there putting it out there every day. I've been a coach at the varsity level, so I know how much effort and time and sleep you lose over that stuff. So, make sure that that you're taking the kudos too, because you're doing a heck of a job out there coaching.
Right, I appreciate that, but we other than having great kids, and I mean we've got great assistants that help us out, great parents. My wife, she puts up with a lot.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that people don't realize is how much a coach's wife puts up with.
Yeah, it's a little wavy at times, but she tolerates it, and she's as much involved with it as I am at times. So, but yeah, I appreciate it. I think typically whenever there's something that you want to do and you're really invested in it, some good things can happen, and we're fortunate to have the girls and the parents and supporters that we do to make that possible.
Very good, very good. Well, Coach, I think that's the extent of the time we've got tonight. Sorry about all the technical difficulties and me calling you the boys' basketball coach. It's the COVID. It's the COVID.
Right, COVID brain.
My kids some dinner, and I thought, there's something I'm supposed to do tonight. And it was like 7, whatever it was, 10 after 7, quarter after 7, or whatever, maybe even later than that, 7:30. And I thought, oh gosh.
That's all right.
I feel like we get on here, and I appreciate you guys having me, and I've enjoyed talking basketball with you guys. Thanks for letting me talk about our girls and our program.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to having you back on the show. All right, you have a good night tonight, Coach.
Yeah, anytime. Thank you. You guys do the same.
All right. Well, you got a good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be back with some daily inspiration.
Suites Assisted Living offers high-value care with affordable rates and no hidden fees. You get to bring all your belongings with you, and we make the transition easy. Skyline Suites in Salem is unlike anything else, and is truly your home away from home. From home-cooked meals, assistance with bathing, dressing, and medication management, Skyline Suites takes monthly trips, provides transportation, does your grocery shopping, and has a spa day on Fridays. To schedule your tour today, call me, Ryan, at 812-320-3761.
Almirola elaborates on early retirement. I'm Susie Armstrong. The story next on NASCAR Today.
The 36th annual Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Nationals will be live on Flow Racing January 10th through the 15th, with over 300 racers competing for their chance at the prestigious Golden Driller Trophy. Also, a new addition to the Flow Racing lineup in 2022 is NASCAR Grassroots Racing, featuring Arca Menards, Whelen Modifieds, Pinty's, and more weekly NASCAR racing events. Subscribe today by going to flowracing.com/MRN Chili Bowl.
There's something coming to Los Angeles. It's fast, and it's wild, and it cannot be stopped. It's NASCAR, and it arrives at the LA Coliseum on February 6th. It's called the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum, and it's never happened before. Get your tickets now at NASCAR.com/LA Coliseum.
As next-gen testing continues in Daytona, Stewart-Haas Racing's Eric Almirola dove deeper into Monday's announcement that the three-time Cup winner would retire at the conclusion of the 2022 season. His reasons were simple.
My son is really into team sports, and my daughter is into horseback riding and theater and dance, and those things happen on the weekends. They might have practice during the week, but their performances and their games are on the weekends. I couldn't keep going week in and week out, chasing my dreams and watching them do their thing through text message videos and FaceTime.
I'm Susie Armstrong. This is NASCAR Today on the Motor Racing Network.
Whenever the forecast is nice, you're probably thinking about enjoying the great outdoors. Whether that means doing some four-wheeling or hitting the road in an RV, First Harrison Bank can help make your dreams a reality with a loan designed to meet your needs. Talk with one of our associates about our options for RV, boat, and camper financing. If you're looking for a great auto loan, we can help with that too. To get started, just visit us at firstharrison.com. Keep it easy, keep it local. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, Robert, are you going to a game on Friday?
Yep, I've already got my ticket, Carrie, which we both know as Indiana High School Athletic Association Assistant Commissioners is much more than a ticket.
It's so much more. When you go to a high school sporting event, you're making a contribution to your community.
That's right. The proceeds from ticket sales go right back to your school's athletic department to help pay for things like facility maintenance and officiating crews.
And just by being there, you're encouraging the student athletes in your community to achieve their goals.
They need that encouragement. They need high school sports in their lives.
They really do, because they teach important life lessons like how to be part of a team.
And it's the team that provides a sense of community.
Which is why it's so important for the whole community to come together to support their high school student athletes.
So join us and buy a ticket to the game.
You'll be supporting your entire community.
This is your IHSAA.
Wednesday, clouds and sunshine and a high near 45. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies. Low near 30. Winds light and variable. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Jackson County REMC Fiber.
Things change. Insurance should too. Jason can help to see if you're covered for life's constant changes. Call Jason Petmeyer, your Washington County agent, at 812-883-2995 or visit infarmbureau.com.
Make sure you call Jason Petmeyer. As my football co-host likes to say, Ryan Larimore, he's putting Jason in charge of figuring out how to get turf put on the football field. So make sure you give Jason a call. Tonight, you guys know that I always do a little bit of inspiration at the end of the night, and sometimes I'll pawn it off on Squatch, and he picked up the ball a couple of times and did pretty well with it. But tonight I got, like I said, I've got Pastor Jeff Johnson in the studio with me tonight. He's been my co-host all night, and thank you for that, Jeff. You've been a pleasure to have.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
But I'm gonna pass the ball to him tonight. What do you got for us tonight, Jeff?
All right. Well, something that we kind of say around our house quite a bit. It's kind of a theme for us.
Not that whole bad driver thing, is it?
Yeah, no. That's a whole different thing. That's we've got a lot of things around the house. That's one of them. No, this is it comes down to that you can't serve someone else if you think you're better than they are. And I found this quote, and since we're moving into the Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday weekend, I thought it fitting to bring a quote from him. And he says this, and this is I love this. He says, "Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love." So that's words of wisdom, and if we could see a little bit more of that in the world, it'd be a little brighter place.
And that kind of touches a little bit of what we talked about tonight about the coaches that give so much back to the community with these youth programs, and being able to humble yourself enough to serve.
Absolutely.
You're
for me personally, I was kind of adopted as the unofficial, chaplain for, the Eastern football team this year.
We have talked about that many times on the show this season. During football, I talked to Coach Lugine about, you getting all the boys together and having your prayers before the games, and the time that all the boys came out and found you.
Oh yeah, that
had to have been a very emotional.
Well, I was praying with Matthew, and he just, I guess, for those of you listening, that's my son, Matthew Johnson, and he would come out, and I would pray with him, and then it ended up being him and a couple of guys, and finally, I think it was one day, he's just like, "Hey, I'm going out to pray with my dad. Anybody wants to come?" He just made the announcement, and the locker room just emptied. And I saw him coming out, and I saw a few other guys coming out, and I'm like, and then the whole team comes out, and I'm like, huh, what are they doing? They're, what are these guys doing? Because I'm not used to that at this point. And
you can't have my lunch money.
Yeah, right. And it's like they all converged on me. I realized they're all coming to see me, and so I'm trying to pray with these guys, and I'm crying and snotting and carrying on. I mean, because it was just such a. It's the only way I can describe it is it was just a holy moment.
Yeah.
It was. It was amazing.
I remember when Matthew was still going to Salem. I remember you praying with the boys before, even back then.
Yeah.
And back then, there were 4 or 5 of the kids. My son and Matthew were good friends, so they all got together, and it was a moving moment to be in the stands as a parent.
Yeah.
Seeing that.
And that was at the middle school. I tell by the time that season was over, I had nearly all the kids from the 8th grade team, and some of the 7th graders, coming up, for prayer as well. I mean, it's just it's an amazing thing. It really is. And
Right.
It's just, very humbling, and it's just
and the inspiration those kids take from those moments, and carry on into their personal life. You may have changed for the better a kid's life that may have been may have been headed the
changed.
And that goes with a lot of these things, with the kids coming up and praying with you, a kid calling their coach because they just, they need to talk to somebody.
Exactly.
So a lot of people don't put a lot of stock into sports, but don't really see the inside of it. They're like, oh, it's just a game. It's just this. It's really not.
Well, it's kind of the thing that Matthew really I think tried to bring to the locker room and to the field is that you're more than teammates. There's
we've always preached football family.
Yeah, family. It's got to be a band of brothers.
Yep.
It absolutely has to be a band of brothers. Because when everybody's just trying to do their own thing and showboat and look at me, and it all falls apart. And that's one thing that I think they really did. Kind of bring together this year, is man, those kids got close, they got tight, and they got to be a pretty solid group. So.
Yeah, and that's the things that's going to follow them, past football and past sports. Yeah, they're not just moments in your youth. This is the rest of your life.
Exactly.
That you're going to look back on this. I remember, things to this day. From not just with sports, but with certain teachers and certain individuals in the neighborhood. My dad running around a whole lot when I was a kid, so I had multiple dads. I was the kid that kind of bounced around the neighborhood, and that's what inspires me today to keep helping with the youth coaching and with the cleats programs and things like that. Is I was that kid, and I want to be able to be that satellite dad to everybody. It might be an impossible dream, but it's a dream that I'll always chase.
But if one of your kids' buddies, is having problems or just needs some advice, or sometimes maybe just a pair of broad shoulders to lean on, help hold them up a little bit. Just knowing that you're available for them if they ever need. Pray they never need you.
Right.
Pray it's a service that's never needed, but unfortunately it is.
Well, it's just like you were the dad that prays with the kids before the games. I was the dad that they knew they better not leave that locker room without giving me a hug.
Exactly.
Or the next time I seen them, they were going to hear from me. They after a big game, they're like, "Oh, I'm sweaty, coach. I don't want to. I don't care.
I don't care. Bring it in. I don't care.
Whenever I told you,
I got soap at home.
When I told you in 3rd grade that once I've coached you, you're my family for life. I meant it.
Right.
You're going to get in here and give me that hug.
That's right.
Kobe put the kibosh on me last year.
Yeah.
The season before, but this past season I got my hugs.
Back in there. That's exactly right.
That last game we played over at Gibson Southern, that was a very emotional game, especially since those seniors are my kids. That's my son's a senior this year. All those kids I've coached since 3rd grade in some capacity, and it's very emotional to see that they're moving on in their life. But I'm still going to be there to help you, to help coach you through your job. If you've got a problem, you're having a hard time making ends meet, call me. We'll figure something out.
Right. Well, if nothing else, I'll try to steer you in the right direction.
Exactly. If you're having a hard time with life, call Coach. And I speak for most, if not all of my colleagues. Coach Jeff Medlock, Chris Hunt, Josh Mull, all these other guys, Anson Humphrey, all these guys that I've coached with over the years. I guarantee you, if you call them and say, "Hey, Coach, I need an ear," they're going to be there.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean, in that respect, it actually starts to become a ministry. So,
right.
It really is.
Right, and and it's just love, and I just want to see these kids succeed as much as possible, and they're taking over. You know what I mean? They're taking my spot. So
well, you see, that's kind of the thing about ministry. You almost have to train your replacement.
Right.
You do.
Right.
So,
and boys, I tell you what, whenever they're replacing me, that's going to be one of my proud, and I'll be at every one of their games.
Oh yeah. Well, I would actually. I'm so honored because I had several of those kids ask me. You're coming back to pray with us next year, right? Yes. Yes, I am. Absolutely, I am. I'll be there.
It's funny, 'cause I look at some of my, my decade of coaching youth football and youth sports, and some of the memories that I've got, I could just imagine what some of these kids are going to remember about me. Some of the stupid things I've said, or showing up to our championship game, 2 days after neck surgery and a neck break, looking like Frankenstein. Some 8-year-old kid's going to remember.
Well, pray they look back on it and they get a laugh. They get that little chuckle every time they think about it.
If they knew that I had to sneak out of the house that day, my wife fell asleep on the couch and I threatened my nephew's life, which made him drive me to the football field.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, all right, folks. Well, we're running a little long here, but it's been a good show. And Jeff, thank you for being here.
No problem. It was a lot of fun.
Greg, thanks for letting me do this every Wednesday. And Chris, if you're listening, I appreciate you calling in. And Coach Matt Myers, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have a show. And good luck to you guys in the rest of your season. And we will see you back here on the air next Wednesday. Until then, you guys be safe and be careful. Good night.
At Meadowview Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about Meadowview, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
See the Liberty Home Loans in Salem, where everyone gets treated like a star. Come experience the star treatment with us. You'll never go back to the ordinary home loan experience again. Stop in today and see Dennis Baxter, branch manager of the Salem office, to start working on a new home loan or refinancing today. They've served nearly 50,000 families with over $15 billion in loans. Stop in and see Dennis and his staff. They're ready to work with you today. As a star, you expect the best, and that's all Celebrity Home Loans has to offer. Nothing off the rack. We're talking fine living, designer fashion home loans around here. Come by today and see Dennis or Autumn at 18 Public Square, Suite A, or call for an appointment. 812-883-06. Remember, at Celebrity Home Loans, you're the star.
Wouldn't it be great to find a dealer that puts their customer satisfaction over their profits? Well, you have. Betty Gilstrap Motors in Salem, Indiana has been your hometown Ford dealership for over 80 years. No hassle, no pressure, and ranked in the top 6% nationwide for customer service. Specializing in Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, Betty Gilstrap Motors is your one-stop shop for your sales, service, and auto body repair needs. Visit us today at EddieGilstrapMotors.com or come see us at 207 South Main Street, downtown Salem, Indiana. Stevie Motzinger here with Eddie Gilstrap Motors, cheering on our black and gold. Go Lions!
Be sure and set your dials to WSLM 97.9 FM and 1220 AM next week for Coach's Corner, live brought to you in part by Salem McDonald's, to get a front row seat into local high school sports with your coaches from Eastern, Salem, and West Washington. Your host, Nate Pierce, will be back next week with more from the Eastern, Salem, and West Washington sport.
WSLM, Salem, New Albany, Louisville. Kentuckiana's best country. My Country, 1220 AM.
You and your family deserve to get out of the house, and Carlos Bravo and his family are waiting for you at El Camino with fresh hot food just for you. There's no better place to bring the family to celebrate the weekend, a birthday, or just have a great meal of some of the best Mexican food around. And if you're really celebrating, try their new Margarita Towers. Who doesn't love tacos? El Camino's is the best place to eat tacos. And if you're trying to do a little better this year, they have some low-carb options like the keto tacos with chicken or steak in a delicious cheese shell topped with fresh avocado, or the equally delicious burrito bowl. Carlos and his family know your family deserves some time out. So head over to 403 South Main Street in Salem. Call ahead at 812-586-0199 for carryout, or dine inside or outside on the patio. There's a full bar and daily food and drink specials. Try El Camino's today for good food that's hot and fresh every time. And the best place in Kentuckiana to eat tacos.
Police officers are not social workers, says the Chief Justice. This is Network Indiana News. I'm Stan Lear. Indiana Supreme Court is coordinating efforts to make sure the people in jail awaiting trial shouldn't be getting mental health care.
I'm Eric Berman. Chief Justice Loretta Rush says one reason for jail overcrowding is the lack of a centralized jail management system.
Our newly created centralized system will improve public safety by ensuring accurate criminal records, allowing judges to view real-time incarceration status, and alerting community agencies when a supervised individual is arrested.
In her State of the Judiciary address, Rush said one key factor to reducing overcrowding needs to be fixing what she calls a broken mental health system. She says up to 4 out of 5 jail inmates have drug problems or are mentally ill. Eric Berman, Network Indiana.
If you count the deaths probably stemming from the coronavirus, Indiana has confirmed COVID.
From Arizona, John Tester from Montana, and maybe a few others.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he expects a vote on that by Monday. Braun says putting the federal government in charge of elections would mean a change to the Constitution. Chris Davis, Network Indiana.
Trey Hollingsworth said he would be temporary. The congressman from Southeast Indiana has announced he will not seek re-election. He says too many elected office holders use their position to seek higher office or a high-paying job later. You're listening to Network Indiana.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, but most people don't know they are infected. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you can still have hepatitis C, a serious liver disease that often has no symptoms. In fact, people can live with hepatitis C for decades without feeling or looking sick. But over time, hepatitis C can cause serious health problems, including liver damage, liver failure, or even liver cancer. Getting tested is the only way to know if you're infected with hepatitis C. That's why the CDC recommends everyone born from 1945 to 1965 get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments are available that can cure this disease. So talk to your doctor about getting tested. It could save your life. A message from the CDC.